Let's freaking go from Radio Row at the Super Bowl. Are you kidding me? Take a look at this place. Y'all, it is time to talk about the biggest story. Brian Kelly talking about the Greg Brooks situation. For those that don't know, there was an interview that Greg and his father did with Good Morning America and Michael Strahan, and it is a tearjerker. And obviously, every single LSU fan, South Louisiana fan, Arkansas Razorback fan have been praying for Greg Brooks, checking in on Greg Brooks, and an overall situation that is sad. I don't think anybody thinks less of anybody's thought process of how everything went down. A lot of bad luck went into it, and Greg's road to recovery is going to hopefully be well. Now, got to get serious here. Brian Kelly, according to Greg's father in the interview, made it sound like that Brian Kelly was not involved in this situation, and that could not be further from the truth. There are plenty of press conferences that you could go listen to at the time where Brian Kelly said, look, I went and saw Greg Brooks. I went and became a member, basically, of Greg's inner circle by checking in on him often. And then, obviously, Greg got transferred to Memphis, and that obviously changes proximity and a lot of that. And then the university got sued, and more than likely, Brian Kelly was told to not be involved with the situation while he was getting sued, or while LSU was getting sued. And that's essentially more than likely what happened. But you guys know I personally have been critical of Brian Kelly in a lot of different facets, some on and some off the field. But I do think today he needed to defend himself. And obviously it's not an easy, comfortable situation. And look, none of us are body language experts. I'm not going to sit here and tell you I am a body language expert. But it did seem in the interview that Brian Kelly was authentic and super sad that his player is going through this. So it was interesting. You can go listen to the clip for yourself. Obviously, since I am on the road, I don't have the clip obviously pulled up. But it is a situation that we're all praying for Greg. He is the single most important person in this entire situation. And I hope it does come to a resolution at some point. But look, it's sad. It's really, really, really sad. Now we do move on, obviously, to the Super Bowl. We are here, and I am so happy that I got to rub elbows with so many different people. As you see in the thumbnail image, one of my favorite stand-up comedy heroes when I did stand up, the great Burt Kreischer, spoke with him for about 5 minutes a little bit earlier today, spoke with Cam Hayward, spoke honestly, the longest conversation I had with someone that I met for the first time today was Joey Molinaro, the now stand-up comedian, but the LSU fan that is a social comedian star. Hung out with Hold DeMayo for a while. He and I are friends. Mario Jerez. Saw Patrick Peterson for a little bit earlier. And then, of course, Malik Neighbors and Jaden Daniels. Couldn't talk to either one of them. Malik was swarmed. Which makes a lot of sense. We say hi to Tyler. We say hi to Jacob. We say hi to Cliff. What's good? We are here in the Big Easy. Type Y for yes, type in for no if you can hear me loud and clear. Let's go, baby. Radio Row here at the Super Bowl. You see Omaha production. You see the Pittsburgh people. They had some good ravioli that I ate a little bit earlier today. And it's great. So I'll show you around here in just a moment. But for me, everyone's talking about the Super Bowl, the game. And for me, I just couldn't believe how much LSU flavor was here. How all the LSU players are swarmed here. I've not seen BTJ. I hope I see him. Tyrann Mathieu and Clyde Edwards-Helaire were out there signing autographs at the NFL Experience. So that was awesome. Now, there's more outside of just the Brian Kelly press conference that we will discuss here. I do want to talk about recruiting and the recruiting weekend that LSU is currently had, and just our overall recruiting at this point. You know, I try not to get too heavy into the 2026 and 2027 conversations, because so much now is who is the highest bidder at the final moment. There's so many late flips with coaching firings and so on and so on. But it's hard to not get excited about the 2026s and, Richard Anderson and so on, and the really talented crop of players in the state of Louisiana. So, really pumped up about that. I really, really, really am. But yes, fire in any questions, anything that you want to discuss. I've gotten messages after our Matt McMahon video over the weekend. That's perfectly fine. Sometimes in life, you have to tell the truth. I will say, after it took a few phone calls over the week, I would not be shocked, even though how tough everything has been with Matt McMahon. It would not shock me in the least bit if he's back next season as the LSU head coach. It is something that could happen. I don't think anybody wants it to happen, but I believe it very well could happen. And sometimes in life, the best thing you can be is likable. Okay? It is so important. Affability does indeed matter. Okay? I want to see if I could flip this. Let's see. There we go. Yes. I like that. But, I do believe also that the LSU women's team still continuing at the level that they are playing. Super excited about what Anissa Morrow and the whole crew have done this year. And there you go. Now, I do want to talk, as far as LSU football is concerned, I'm just trying to cover all the bases. We're one day closer, obviously, to LSU baseball. I do want to talk a little bit about the LSU offensive line going into next season. And what I would tell you is, yes, losing Emory Jones and Will Campbell in particular are going to hurt, because we have a semi-decent idea of what the interior of LSU's offensive line is going to look like next season. But I do want to also say that even though you do lose Will Campbell and you do lose Emory Jones, you very well could be in a position where the play calling is better with Joe Sloan in year 2. Your quarterback play gets better in year 2. And even if your offensive tackle play regresses, you still could end up fine. You very well could end up fine next year on the front. And I want to share this stat, and I've kind of referenced it a few times. Let's take a school like Tennessee, whose offense this year wasn't the absolute best. But the one thing Tennessee was able to do is run the football. And Dylan Sampson's play style is somewhat similar to that of Caden Durham. And what makes it very, very, very interesting when you look at a guy like Caden Durham in particular is Tennessee's offense. Both of their offensive tackles were 2 of the lowest graded pro football focused offensive tackles in the SEC. One of those was Lance Hurd. The other was John Campbell. So even if LSU's offensive tackle play regresses some next season, if you can run the football with a scheme that everybody is on page with, we did not have the rushing identity that we needed as a team last season, you could be a better football team. You could be a more balanced offense. because watching the LSU run game last season was like pulling teeth, and it's unacceptable. It's unacceptable. Okay. Pegasus says, "Are you making a Sirius XM appearance? Do you want me to go over there? They're actually not that far. You see them right over there. Not that far from here. If you want me to go over there, Pegasus, let me know. Okay. I am happy to say I got interviewed twice today. Pegasus, you won't believe this. One of the people that interviewed me was actually from La Liga in Spain. Yes, the La Liga. Soccer royalty. La Liga. Huh? It was a great conversation. We talked about college football. We talked about Barcelona. And obviously, we weren't going to talk about Real Madrid. But, I was listening to some podcasts about offensive line play on the way to New Orleans here. And I'll be honest. I'll be honest. Yeah, you can lose Will Campbell. Yeah, you can lose Emory Jones. But offensive line play, to me, is a weak link position. You take a look at the best LSU offensive lines, the best offenses we had at LSU. They did not have the absolute best of the best offensive linemen that have played at LSU on those lines. What they did not have, though, was a weak link. All right, they did not have a weak link. Let's go back to me, the most underrated LSU offensive line of all time, the 2007 group. A great group. Carnell Stewart, Lyle Hitt, Saron Black, Brett Helms. I saw Jacob Hester a little bit earlier. No weak links. Did any of them have an NFL career? No, not really. Big Herman Johnson kind of hung around. But you don't need the absolute best offensive lineman to have success. You need to remove the weak links. And we had too many weak links on our front last year. And we never made adjustments. So while the big focus today was Brian Kelly at the press conference, what the major focus needs to be is, if this guy isn't who we think he is, what are our contingency plans? Let's just say Braylon Moore, and I don't think this is going to happen. His film overall is pretty good, but let's just say Braylon Moore is a guy who comes in and the SEC caliber of play is just too much. And he can't play center. We got to try him out at guard or whatever. Who is your backup center going to be? Is it going to be DJ Chester? I guess I would be okay with DJ Chester being your number one backup center. But is that enough? Is that enough for you? I'm looking at you right now. Is that enough for you? I don't know. I don't think I could get there. I don't think I could get there. Okay? You have got to build depth. And the fact that we had guys out there that continue to struggle at key positions, center, corner, and we didn't try to take them out because they didn't feel anyone else could step in. And in their defense, when we had younger DBs get the opportunity to play with no Sage Ryan and no Major Burns, guess what? Guess what? They got torched too. You've got to find playable backup players. Now, I also want to talk about something else that Brian Kelly mentioned in the press conference. We won't go live here on this live stream. We'll walk around here in a minute. We have got to talk about Monsour Delang. Brian Kelly singled him out today. He's a leader. He's an adult. He's a guy that will be a leader. We need that. We really do. Monsour Delang is a 3-year player who has 1 year of eligibility left and 2 years to play it. All right? We really need him to lock in on this season. Don't think about next year. Don't think about that 5th year. Because if he locks in, he has a chance to be one of the best DBs in the SEC. I really do believe if he would have gone to the NFL draft, he would have been a 3rd or 4th round pick. It was good. It was good. Okay? Let's go to Blanche. I have issue with Kelly, but I do think he cares for his players. I'm with you. I think most coaches a bare minimum responsibility of being there with for their players. Okay? It's a bare minimum. Have your players back. I don't think that's too much to ask. I really don't. So, yeah, let's walk around. If you guys want to see a few things, okay? Put this. Okay. Let's see. So, let's go over here. I gotta flip the camera. Oh, flip it. It's not letting me flip the camera, so I'll just flip it around myself manually. It's perfectly fine. So, as you can see, it's a bunch of different media layouts. We'll go over to the McAfee show, and I am set up at Mario Jerez's booth. So, yeah. This is the Sirius XM setup, my old stomping grounds. I love it. We'll go over here to the McAfee show. A whole lot of stuff going on. But, there's so much Super Bowl being chatted about. Gotta love the big game chatter. What's wrong with talking about Barcelona? Huh? There's nothing wrong with talking about Barca. Don't hate on Barcelona. I love Barca. Look, Scone's doing his show right there. Look at that. There you go. Here's a McAfee show. Setup. Their setup's insane. It's crazy. I'm trying to see what else. Let's see if we can find someone. Let's see if we can interview him. There's a ringer. Friend of the show, Van Lathan. We hung out with him a little bit earlier. Let's see what else is over here. Not a whole lot. Tomorrow we're going to go live from the NFL Experience, which is incredible. Let me say hi to somebody real quick. time we saw this guy was in Las Vegas. It's Michael Brockers.
Hey, how y'all doing?
Let's go. Brock, what do you have to say to LSU Nation, baby?
Man, we coming, man. Hey, we coming SEC. We rule the SEC now. I don't want to hear none of y'all Alabama talk, man. All that LSU slander, stop it. LSU is here to stay now. Come on.
Let's go. Brock, I was actually talking about the 07 team, but then
Yes.
I was getting ready to talk about the 2011 team.
Yes.
All
yes.
right. So you guys, I mean, they talk about just that one game.
I know.
They talk about just that one game.
Because that's all that matters to us. If we're not winning championships, why are we even playing, you know?
No, I'm going to push back again.
Okay.
Because I know y'all still beat everybody by double digits outside of that one team. You beat everybody by double digits.
We did. But they still hold that over our head. It's like,
really? So when you see other Bama players,
we had a lady today talk about Bama and beating us in that game, and I damn near wanted to kick off my show. But it's okay.
No,
it's okay.
Who was it?
I don't want to tell her name because she was a lovely individual, but
no, she's not. No, she's not.
She was a Bama fan, unfortunately.
Okay, but here's the thing. Not only did you win by double digits, you also beat West Virginia at their house.
Yes, we did.
And then you beat Oregon at a neutral.
Yeah, and they thought Oregon was going to beat us. They thought Oregon was really going to beat the SEC team, which is crazy.
And then Tyrann Mathieu made the craziest play I've ever seen in that Oregon game. Yes. Have you ever seen anyone strip a punt and house it?
No, I've never seen anybody, go to a tight end, hit the tight end, strip the tight end from the ball, get the ball, and run with it. I mean, he made some amazing plays that year.
Brock, when you were in the locker room with that team, did you know that team was going to be special?
Yeah, I knew we were going to be special because of the work ethic we put in. I mean, that team had a tremendous work ethic with having, Tommy Moffitt as our strength and conditioning. He pushed us to the limit, and we knew we were the best because we were prepared.
A few more Michael Brockers. Please go follow him on Instagram. Go follow the podcast.
Yes,
broadcast.
The broadcast.
The broadcast.
We broadcasting all over the world.
You're broadcasting.
All over the world.
Wait, you a dad?
I am a dad.
So you did a dad joke.
Yes, sir. I'm a pun on my name. That's all it was.
That's all it was. So now that the career is over, what do you want to accomplish in your life outside of the podcast? What do you want your legacy to be away from the field?
To be a serial entrepreneur. I don't want to be an employee no more. I want to be the boss. So any ways to become more financially literate and teach my kids to be financially literate. I think that's my goal.
Is Aaron Donald the best football player of all time?
One of the best.
No, not one of the best. Is he the best?
He's the best defensive lineman I've ever played with, for sure.
Okay. Better than Benny Logan?
That's my dog.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna do that. Because Benny go clown me in the group chat. So that's my dog. Both of them my dogs.
All right, last one for you, Michael Brockers. What do you want to see with LSU next season? Because over the past couple of years, the defense has been down, and obviously that 2011 group, everyone wants to know, what do we have to do to bring back the flying savages that you were in the 2011 group? I still talk to Ron Brooks pretty often. He talks about bringing that mentality back. First off, what is the key to be a savage out there?
I think the key is just knowing, you got what it takes. I think like I said, God, take it back to strength conditioning. When we worked out and we knew we were the strongest team, we knew that we were winning the game. There's nothing that another team can do because we felt like we outworked them already. So having a confidence because you were, LSU is prepared, I think that comes with it.
And we could not stop. We struggled stopping the run.
Yes.
You can't win football games without stopping the run.
Especially in the SEC.
Yes. So what would you say? Obviously, our defensive tackle play, we got 2 young guys coming back, hit a few guys in the portal. What do you want to see in particular out of that LSU front and the LSU defense next year?
I just want to see that LSU swagger come back, that LSU defensive swagger where we go out there and make plays because we know we can make plays, like we've always been doing.
All right, that'll do it for me for today. Brock, we always do it at the end of every conversation. We always give our best. Let's go. Okay, all right, here we go. Whenever you want.
Let's go!
Let's go!